Tosafot on the top of Yud Gimel Amud Bet. This is on our Gemara where we saw the idea that we, are following through with the machloket between Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel about standing in the daytime when saying Shema. So Rashi comments here ba'amida, afilu leBeit Hillel da'amrinan oskin b'malachtan v'korin u'mehalchin v'korin. Right. So even according to Beit Hillel, who say, right, elsewhere in the Gemara, earlier in the Gemara in Brachot on Yud Aleph Amud Aleph, that someone who is engaged in work and should read, right, is reading and is walking on the road and reading, modim him shetzarich la'amod b'makom echad ad hamikra hazeh. So even Beit Hillel would agree that it's not enough. You can't actually be physically walking on your way the entire time when you're saying Shema. You have to at least minimally stand in place until these words of Alav Avacha. Lefisha ad kan mitzvah kavana, because according to Beit Hillel, until these words of Alav Avacha, you need to be having intention. So even for Beit Hillel who says that you could have theoretically, you could have any posture when you're saying Shema, at least in the nighttime. That would definitely, right, and when Beit Hillel also says you have to be standing when you say Shema in the daytime, that's specifically referring to the words of Alav Avacha. Now, Tosafot is going to answer a question that we had asked at the very beginning. Wait a second, don't we all sit now when we say Shema in Shachar at least? So Tosafot Alav Avacha ba'amida b'Yerushalmi mefaresh lav di'i haya yoshev omed. Right, so in the Gemara Yerushalmi, right, the Jerusalem Talmud, it is explained that we're not talking about if it was a case where someone was sitting and saying Shema, that they should now stand up. Ela de'im hayat mehalech omed. Right, so rather we're talking about what if I'm walking, what if I'm not stationary, then in that case I should make myself stationary and stand. Avagav de Beit Hillel amrei kol adam korei kedarko. Min kol makom mitzvah min hamuvchar la'amod kishehu mehalech levisho enu miyoshav kol kach ve'enu yachol lekavin kishehu mehalech kasher. Oh, sorry. Let's pause there. Right. Ve'enu yachol lekavin shehu mehalech kasher haya omed v'chein halacha. Right. So this is the idea that we saw in Rashi. Tosafot is just playing it out more, that even according to Beit Hillel, who say that, you should be able to say Shema in whatever posture you want, nevertheless, it's the preferable way, right? It's the ideal way to perform this mitzvah standing, if you had been not stationary, right, to actually stop your body and stand in place, since, right, it's not right, walking while you're doing it is not very settling, right? And you're not going to be able to focus when you're on your way as much as if you were just standing in place. And so the halacha is that someone who is walking on their way, it's a mitzvah for them to stand in place, right? So mitzvah la'amod b'pasuk echad, right? It's a mitzvah for them to stand in place, at least for that first pasuk of Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Uba'inan kavana b'pasuk rishon levad. So right, Tosafot actually is disagreeing a little with Rashi that according to Tosafot, right, really it's that you need the kavanah for the first pasuk. Rashi was including up until the word Alav Avacha because of this machloket. V'chein ita b'tanchuma. And so it is also, it comes in the Tanchuma, which is really another form of Midrash. We'll go over, what Tanchuma really is, but it's a type of a source. Rav Yehuda b'shem Shmuel Amar asur lekabel alav ol malchut shamayim kishehu mahalech. It's forbidden, right? So Rav Yehuda actually goes a step further. It's not just that it's a mitzvah to stop walking and say Shema for the first pasuk at least, but rather if you would do that, right, if you would not do that, if you would keep walking and saying Shema and just say Shema, that would be forbidden. It's asur, right? So it's forbidden to accept upon yourself the yoke of heaven when you're walking. Ela ya'amod v'yikra right? So Rabbi Yehuda says that rather you should stand in place and read Shema, and when you get to the paragraph of v'yahavta, you can keep walking on your way.